I don't think anyone will argue that the Nintendo Switch Online service is a bad thing. It is a subscription service where you subscribe, and by doing so, you get access to a whole library of classic games from the retro Nintendo consoles. So stuff from the NES, the SNES, the Nintendo 64, the entire GameCube family, and even some third party. You can even get some Sega Genesis games on there as well. So the Nintendo Switch Online idea is not bad. You pay a subscription fee for a year and you get access to all that, and you can even play them online with the online. That's what the online means. So one thing that has been, I think, asked about ever since the service started adding different consoles was, when are we getting GameCube? That is, I think, a question that's been asked for quite a while now, which is, when are we going to get the GameCube? Are we going to even get the GameCube, at all? Well, I think it is only a matter of time now of if and not when, reverse that. I think it's only a matter of time of when, if not if, because they have to know. Nintendo's going to keep this Nintendo Switch Online service going, probably with the Switch 2 as well. They're probably just going to keep that service for the next console. So to keep that alive and keep it still exciting, even though it is an exciting prospect with what it is, to keep it even more exciting, I think when they eventually announce, hey, you can now play classic GameCube games on this service, that's going to be tremendous. And that's probably what's going to get even more people to sign up, because you get a lot of people who sadly just aren't into the retro game, like the ones that are available. Like, they don't care about the NES or SNES games. They really don't care about like 2D gaming, which does suck, but those people do exist. And maybe they're kind of interested in the N64 stuff, but they're not really willing to bite the bullet. But the GameCube had a huge amount of people who played it, and that era of gaming, the GameCube era, that's where a lot of current gamers right now really started to get into gaming, was the GameCube era. So I think that putting the GameCube games on there, it's just a matter of time at this point. And what I wanted to do is discuss what games could be put out for this service. Now, there's many games out there that we could choose from. I'm going to pick ones that are kind of no-brainers, kind of duh, but maybe a couple of picks you didn't expect. So the first one I'm going to say is Luigi's Mansion. It makes total sense to put the first Luigi's Mansion out there. We have the third Luigi's Mansion that came out on the Switch, and we've just recently had Luigi's Mansion 2 put out on Switch. A remaster of it was put out for a Nintendo Switch. And people were wondering, well, are we going to get a Luigi's Mansion, 1 remaster? And Nintendo has said jack. So, I don't know, man. I think putting out Luigi's Mansion 1, the very first one out for the Nintendo Switch Online service, I think that makes complete and utter sense, because that way you will be able to have all 3 Luigi's Mansions playable on the Switch. You have 3, the remaster of 2, and then the original of 1. Maybe they can dust it up a bit, but they've ported Luigi's Mansion 1 over to the 3DS, so it shouldn't be too hard to do it for the Switch as well. So that's kind of a no-brainer one. Another one that's kind of a no-brainer, Super Mario Sunshine. It is the Mario game for the GameCube. When you say the GameCube and Mario in the same sentence, people probably just immediately think of Super Mario Sunshine. It is a fantastic game. There's so much from it that is still alive and well in Mario today. We've got Shadow Mario. That guy sucks. We have Delfino Island, the Flood, that's all there. And the amazing soundtrack. So many things from that game are still around today in Mario. So it makes perfect sense to put Super Mario Sunshine out there on this Switch service. The next one is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I was gonna put Twilight Princess, but Twilight Princess technically also came out for the Wii. So there is that, and they kind of moved direction. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild, right? They kind of moved direction where it was Breath of the Wild was initially meant for the Wii U, but they kind of moved direction and made it mainly for the Switch instead. That's kind of Twilight Princess. It was made for the GameCube, but they kind of moved direction and moved it more towards the Wii. So I decided to put Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on here because that one was definitive. This is a GBA Legend of Zelda game. And Wind Waker, I mean, it's such a... Look at the style. We all love the style of Wind Waker. This is where the Toon Link comes from. He is fantastic. Wind Waker itself is fantastic, and it shouldn't be hard at all to put Wind Waker out here. I mean, they made Wind Waker HD for Wii U, you know, so can't be that hard. The next one I'm going to go with is Mario Kart Double Dash. Again, a real easy one. Get the GameCube Mario Kart in there. Double Dash has that unique feature of being able to swap between the two playable characters and all that, so you know people are going to be going nuts playing Double Dash Online. Double Dash Online would go hard. Man, oh my god, imagine. Oh man, that's going to be great. Another one, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Another easy one, man. Just put the Smash Brothers game out there, and it's a done deal, man. Melee is regarded by some people as their favorite Smash, so again, putting it out there, really easy, man. The next one I would do is Super Mario Strikers. The very first Mario Strikers came out for the GameCube, and while the most recent installment in the series on the Switch hasn't had the positive reception that I think that Nintendo wanted, and from what I hear from the people who played it, they're like, yeah, no, this is not the Mario Strikers experience that I grew up with. So why not give you that Strikers experience you grew up with the OG Mario Strikers? It's a very easy thing to do. Now, for a bit more deep-cutted ones here, let's go with Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Nintendo remastered the first Metroid Prime and put it out on the Switch, which you can get. Great. Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year, so Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, I think, makes perfect sense to put that game out there, especially for people who loved the remastered version. Be like, hey, here's the sequel, you know? I mean, they could just put out the Metroid Prime trilogy that they did on the Wii, but that would probably be if they ever put Wii games on Switch Online. If they ever. I'm leaping here at GameCube right now, even though I said it's only a matter of when, not if, you know, but I'm leaping still. But I think putting Metroid Prime 2 Echoes makes perfect sense for the GameCube. I say Kirby Air Ride. This is a deep cut. If you don't know what Kirby Air Ride was, it's a Kirby racing game. You're damn right. You ride on a vehicle, very similar to Sonic Riders. You know, each character rides on a vehicle, like Kirby rides on his Warp Star, and that's it. You know, it's a racing game with Kirby. What more do I need to say? Just like how Sonic Riders is a Sonic racing game where you ride on, you know, the extreme gear, Kirby is a racing game where you each have a vehicle. And it is, again, it's a game that people probably don't remember that much, actually. People probably don't really remember Kirby Air Ride that much, which I was shocked when I found out that there was a Kirby freaking racing game, you know? I was like, wait, there's a Kirby racing game? And I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, this is just Sonic Riders but Kirby. That's awesome. So let's do it. Put Kirby Air Ride out there on the GameCube, bring that back. Again, racing games are great for online multiplayer, which is what the Switch Online thing also wants to have. So this one works, again, very well with that. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, I think, is another one. Get a good JRPG out there for the GameCube boys out there, which we don't have a lot of RPGs on my list here. So having a core Nintendo IP like Fire Emblem, putting their GameCube game out there, that makes perfect sense. Come on, man. And then the final one I'm going to do here is a very real deep cut, but with Nintendo now having the new N64 M-rated game lineup, with them now allowing M-rated games on the Switch Online service, let's do it, man. Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem has to come out on there, man. It has to come out on there. This is a fantastic horror game that is stuck on the GameCube. Like, no one knows about it unless you're a GameCube fanatic. It is awesome. You know, I'm not really into horror that much, but this game rules, man. This game is fantastic. And again, it's one of the very few M-rated games published by Nintendo. In fact, it was the first game published by Nintendo to receive the M rating. So it's got historic value from there alone. And it's got a great mechanic in the game, the sanity effects, where you have a sanity meter, which goes down, and as it goes down, weird stuff starts to happen, like the camera angle skews, heads of the statues will like follow your player. You can go like try to exit a room and then you end up in the same room and it's like, well, you didn't actually leave. They have fourth wall breaking stuff where it like your games, the volume on your TV will go down. It's just awesome stuff like that. I love, there's stuff where like, you know, like maybe your controls get reversed and all that, like stuff like that. I love when video games start doing stuff like that, and that is what Eternal Darkness does very well. The plot of the game moves around into different time periods, which, I mean, that's really fun. It's all about a character named Alexandra, and she returns to her family's estate, and after her grandfather, who owned it, I guess, is found brutally murdered. She stumbles upon a secret room, and she finds various accounts from various people in the past, and that's where you go in between. As she reads the book, you go in between various points in history, and then, you know, stuff happens to her in the present. It's a game like that, goes in between time periods. It's really, really fun and a really, really cool experience. So I think it would be great if Nintendo brings this thing out. I mean, again, they have the marketing right there. If this was the first ever M-rated Nintendo game, they have that marketing right there, baby. It's right there. So those are the games I think would be great for the GameCube Switch Online service, and I'm predicting that these games will, when the Switch Online service gets the GameCube feature. These are the games I'm predicting will be out there, like, right away, like as soon as the service launches, or very soon into the service launching, you know, like within the first year. So let me know what you guys think of my selection of games. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What stuff have I not said that you would like to see on the service? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great rest of your day.